Hi everyone, welcome to my third United podcast type video. Really pleased with the response. Big thanks to everyone for watching every week. It means a lot that quite a lot of you are watching and enjoying it. I really do think the questions and that interactive part of it does help. This week's going to be a bit different. I've got some Modern Warfare beta gameplay in the background. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to, but I thought a lot of people have been asking whether I'm going to be playing it, and I've got it here in the background for you. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to, just listen with the audio. I'm just going to give my maybe like 10 minutes of my initial reaction to the game, and then I'm going to take some look at your questions that you guys have sent in via my Instagram story. So if you guys want to be featured just next time it comes up, next week or whenever our next game is, I think it's this Thursday with the Europa League game, I'll be doing another one of these, and make sure you send in your questions because it really does help. And you guys have really gone to town with them. There's been loads of them for the last couple of episodes, so that's really pleasing to see. So I'm going to just get into my thoughts straight after the Leicester game. And I'm not going to lie, I was delighted. We weren't good. The performance was not great. But I'm just over the moon that we actually got the win and we got a clean sheet. You look at the table, lots of teams drop points. Arsenal drop points. City drop points. To be fair, Spurs, Liverpool, Chelsea, I think, all won. But we gained, I think we're now 2 points behind City and we're in the top 4, which is good. West Ham play tonight, and obviously if they beat Palace, then they'll go above us. But then we've got them at the weekend to rectify that. But I'm really positive after the game. So pleased just to get the win and we can move on. And just thinking like where we could be now. Obviously, it's only 5 games, but you know, if we had beaten Wolves, if we had scored that pen, if we had beaten Palace, which is a game that we should be winning, and then the Southampton game, you know, you get results like that. But you know, I never thought we were close to winning that game. But with the Wolves one, we had it in control for most of it. And the Palace one, it's a really bad result at home. So like, if you think if we had got the wins in those games, we'd be doing so much better. We'd be above City, above all these teams, and we'd be on track. I think Liverpool have won 5 out of 5, so we wouldn't be top, but you know we'd be in the mix, and I think that's important for this season. I don't think any United fans expecting us to win the league, but if we can just make sure we're in the mix and up there for most of the season, then I think that's really positive, and that's a good season, along with some good runs in the cup. Especially Europa League, which is coming up. So also I just want to talk about the style of play. Obviously I said I'm happy with the result, and obviously I am. But I think it's really strange to see the way that we're playing. It doesn't seem like it's overly different. It feels like we're definitely better than we were last season under Mourinho. But and when you look at the way we've been playing in the summer, in the pre-season games, and you compare it to now, I don't see the same like intensity and pressing that maybe we did see in the Chelsea game and we saw in the Wolves game, always getting it back. We're sloppy in possession, you know that, because we've got poor midfield. But you think the style of play would be there. And I think that's one thing that's worrying me, is that like I can accept bad results. It's going to happen. I think most United fans know that this season is one of transition, and it's one of getting into style of play, and one of sort of Solskjaer setting down a new type of way of playing for these players, one that's more intense and not as we'll react to them type of thing. We want our own identity of how we play. But like, yeah, I can take the bad results, but it's when the performances are like the way it was at Southampton and the way we sort of played on Saturday against Leicester. It's like I want to see more of a way of playing. And it's kind of disappointing that I'm not seeing huge changes like you're seeing at Chelsea with Frank Lampard, the way that they just blitz through Wolves. But that'll come, and hopefully, especially in these Europa League games coming up, which I'm actually quite looking forward to, even though it's rubbish. We're not playing a particularly good opposition. I'm sure the stadium won't be that full, but I'm looking forward to it because we're going to see some youngsters. Hopefully they put on a show. We've got the likes of Gomez, Chong, Greenwood. It's all very promising. So hopefully we can get that style of play. We've got some tough games coming up. Solskjaer wants to play counter-attack, but I'm not sure if that's the right thing for every game. Especially like Leicester at home, sitting back against Leicester and trying to beat Leicester on the counter. I'm not sure. Obviously, I'm happy. I'm delighted with the win. And you look at the West Ham game coming up. You look at what we're going to do in that. Are we going to sit back and let them attack us? And I think the fact that he is willing to be counter-attacking shows his confidence in the defence, and that leads on to my other point of Maguire against Leicester was so solid. What a signing he is. Wan-Bissaka also, he didn't really have much to do. We were pretty solid at the back. Leicester didn't have many chances apart from that Maddison chance in the first half, which we then got a penalty a few minutes later. But Maguire, he changes things, and Lindelof. Last season, he was our main centre-back. He was the one that fans sort of were like, he's a first name on the team sheet. But he sort of dipped off in form. I've seen a lot of people giving him some stick. And I think Lindelof's one of those players where he just needs time to get himself in the team. He's obviously playing with a different partner now, so they just need to build that chemistry. But if we can see Lindelof get back to his best, which hasn't been so far this season, and then Maguire keep playing the way he's playing, because I think everyone's seen the clip where he wins the ball off this really fast player. It might be Demarai Gray, and he gets there first, and he does like a little spin, and then the crowd were just all behind him. It was brilliant to see, and that's the type of thing, that composure that we were missing last season, especially when you see he's actually better on the ball than quite a lot of our midfielders when you look at it. Our midfielders they give the ball away all the time. Like, I love McTominay and I like Pierre, but they are young and they do give the ball away. But like Maguire, even as a defender in possession, he's just on it, and he's so calm, and he knows when to pick the right pass. And Vardy didn't get a kick against us on Saturday, so I think that's a big part due to Maguire. And then just one more thing I want to talk about before I go on to the questions from you guys is Rashford. Seeing a lot of people mixed sort of responses to the game regarding Rashford. I think one of the stats that's been thrown around Twitter loads is that Abraham from Chelsea is 3 goals away from equaling Rashford's all-time tally for a season. And when you put it like that, that is pretty bad. And I think Rashford and Solskjaer know that he needs to be getting 20 this season. He just has to. If he's going to be our main striker along with Martial, they both need to be getting 20 goals. But I think this season, that's the way it is. Rashford's going to be our main striker. Do I think he's good enough to be the striker? Honestly, no. But he can grow into it, I'm sure. But we need to see him hit those heights. And the penalties, it'd be great if he could score some more goals from open play. He's scored 2 pens, a very good penalty by the way, this weekend. But just I think a lot of people are being a bit too harsh on Rashford, and we just want to see him be the main man. And I'm not sure if he's going to play in these Europa League games, because I think maybe Greenwood might get the chance, but I don't know if he's going to throw Greenwood in straight away for a European game. But I guess if you're going to do it, you're going to do it in a home game. You might have Gomez, Chong, Greenwood playing in that game. I don't know if Rashford's going to play. But if you keep Rashford to the big games like FA Cup, Premier League, Europa League latter stages and the FA Cup and the Premier League, then come on, he has to be getting the goals. And I think Solskjaer has said he wants to see Rashford getting more scrappy goals. And I can't wait for Martial to be back because I think we're really missing him. He had a great start to the season, 2 goals in 2 games, and then he got injured. I'm not really sure what happened. But yeah, we need him back, and we need to get them firing. And I said this Rashford topic would be the last thing, but I just wanted to say I put on the Instagram page the other day my preferred 11 for what I think should be our going forward. Chop and change it depending on injuries and whatever. But I think this should be our main 11. I'll try to put it on the screen now. But De Gea, Shaw, Maguire, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, McTominay, Pogba, Fred, and then up front, Martial, Rashford, James. I think those are the best players that we have. Fred, I don't understand what we're doing with him. He's a £50 million midfielder. If he's not going to get a chance when Pogba's injured, then when is he going to get a chance? You bring him on for the odd game against, at home. It's like, come on, you got to play him from the start. Give him a chance to score and prove himself, which I really want to see. And unfortunately, Pierre wasn't that great against Leicester, so maybe it is time for Fred, and maybe we'll play him on Thursday. And I really hope he shines because I think he's got the energy. He's a bit erratic like Pierre, but or Pereira, as a lot of people say. But I just want to see him get his chance because he's a top midfielder. There's a reason why we signed him. There's a reason why Mourinho wanted him. We're not seeing that yet because we keep dropping him and we're not giving him the chance. So I think you may as well play that team. We're going to make mistakes. Maybe they're not the best quality, but it's the best of what we have. Then you can use the youngsters off the bench and whatever. Okay, so now I'm going to get into some of your questions that you guys have sent in via my Instagram story, so thanks for that. First one is from Matsasiki. Sorry if I've said it wrong. He says, do you think rebuilding without Pogba is better for us? What I've always said with this is if Pogba genuinely wants to leave, we have to get rid of him. Is he our best player? Yes. Do we have anyone else in our squad that can do the type of thing that he can? No, we don't. But what's the point of having him here if he doesn't want to be here? And I would rather us go get someone else who can do a similar thing, maybe not as well, but like that mould of midfielder. We need a quick, pacey, strong midfielder that can bring the ball forward and attack. We don't really have a goal-creating midfielder, which is one of our big problems. You look at all the other teams in the league. Arsenal have Ozil, although he doesn't play that much. They've got that Cabellos. I'm not sure if that's how you say his name, but he looks really good. City, obviously, they've got so many. They've got Bernardo Silva, who sometimes plays in the middle, often on the wing. They've got De Bruyne, they've got David Silva, they've got Gundogan. They've got so many players in the midfield. Liverpool don't really rely on the midfield for creativity, but because they have so many good attackers that literally create chances, they can do that. Whereas we, I think Rashford and Martial sort of rely on Pogba to create the chances. And also, for some reason, Pogba's been playing deep. I really don't get it, and I just want to see him play further up. And the most frustrating thing is that it's not even if we have another midfielder that's going forward. We have McTominay and who's the other one? McTominay and Pierre, who push on, and Pogba sits back, which to me just doesn't make sense. So yeah, I think going forward, we have to rebuild without Pogba, because if he's going to leave, that's what's going to happen. But we have to replace him, and unfortunately, I don't trust our board to get that done. You look at this season, we needed 5 or 6 signings. Imagine if Pogba had left, we need another 2 midfielders. And then we haven't replaced Herrera or Fellaini, and we still need another midfielder. So that's a lot of work to do. So another question is from _sen25_. He says, "Do you think Solskjaer will start to believe in Fred?" I hope so. He was pretty positive when he came on, and I think he's stuck by midfielders like Pereira, but like Fred, he's 50 million. I'm not saying that needs to have a big impact. Obviously, if Pereira's the better player, then play him. But I don't think he's done that much to think, oh, he's way better than Fred. He's so much better than Fred. But I don't see what Pereira can do that Fred can't. Fred, I'm pretty sure, went to World Cup last year. There's a reason for that. And now we can't get back into squad because we're not playing him. So I'd rather see us just like give him a run of games. Like you don't even have to. I'm not talking about let's play him one game and see how he does. If he does bad, drop him. Like give him a run, like what Sanchez should have had. Alexis should have had a run under Solskjaer, and Solskjaer never gave it to him. Give Fred a chance to prove himself, because otherwise it's just another flop. But I think there's a player there that we need. Like, we need a creative midfielder, and we've got one, and we're not playing him. So I hope Sen. So Ewan Valence asks, how long do you think it will be before the likes of Greenwood, Chong, Gomez start games? God, I hope it's Thursday. I hope on Thursday we see Greenwood start. I hope we see Gomez and Chong. It just depends whether he's going to go with them from the off, or sort of bring them on earlier, maybe 55 minutes. Because I think it would be dangerous to go with a full youth squad in the Europa League game. Sort of looks like we're not taking them seriously. And you need experience for these European games, especially when we start going to away games. But I really hope Greenwood starts, give him a chance, maybe play some better players around him, like obviously I know Lingard's been getting a lot of stick, but play him for that experience. Maybe don't go with maybe go with one of Chong and Gomez instead of both, and then bring the other one on later on. But yeah, I hope we see on this Thursday them starting. Mitch _Velgs asks, 5 games in, thoughts on the new signings? All of them have been pretty good. James has had, well, if you look at it, they've been our best players. Probably Pogba, Rashford and Martial, who you'd expect to be good. Probably just underneath. Probably Martial better than Pogba and Rashford, even though he's played 2 games. But yeah, James, 3 goals in 4 games, and 2 of them were amazing goals. And then he went and got a goal for Wales during the international break. Wan-Bissaka's been a revelation. I love seeing him on the right back. To be fair, Young's actually done well. I know a lot of us are happy to see the back of Young and Wan-Bissaka coming in, having a young right back. But I think Young's done really well at left back when Shaw's not been there. And Maguire as well. He's just been solid, and he's so much calmer. And I'm really pleased with those 3 signings, but I wish we got more. So Z.21.K said, it was poor. We won 1-0. Okay, it's 3 points, but it's poor. Sort of my point of view, except I'm a bit more positive. I'm just so happy that we got the win. It's an easy game to drop points in. Leicester are a really good team. They didn't really have that many chances. Our defence was really solid. I was really pleased with that. But yeah, I just think I want to see the star player. I want to see us be a bit more attacking, create more chances. To win off a penalty, a bit disappointing, but we got the win. And as long as we can improve going forward, which I hope we start seeing, otherwise I will be a bit annoyed, a bit like you. But yeah, hopefully we'll start seeing that style play soon. So Niv Fine says, this is not a question but a statement. Fred has passion and needs to play. A lot of you guys are sending questions about Fred, saying that he should play. I'm glad to see you agree with me. But we could all be wrong, but I just think people want to see Fred get a chance. What's the point of just letting him rot? And was this £50 million player, or was another flop that Man United messed up? So give him a chance to do well. He was in the World Cup squad last year for a reason. Jose Mourinho wanted him for a reason. So I think Solskjaer should play him too. So Timo Waff says, when will the manager start young players? I don't think there's a big rush to start the players. I think I'd rather see the likes of Greenwood, Gomez, Garner, who's the other one. I think I'd rather see them over like Matic and even Piera now. Like, especially for like a home game, I'd be fine with putting Piera in for the away games. If he needs extra body in midfield, and he's sort of a winger, but he'll play in midfield as well. I think for home games, I'd really like to see Gomez and or Greenwood, and then maybe Garner coming in soon. Maybe Garner will play on Thursday against Astana. Hopefully, anyway. Jason underscore Cods says, why does United make me want to cry while watching every game? Well, I wasn't close to crying, but I completely get what you mean. Like, why does it have to be so hard? But we're in transition, and I think that goes back to my point before. Is that I just want to see a style of play. I want some reassurance that we're going in the right direction, which hopefully we'll start seeing in the next couple of games, because I think we've sort of lost it since the Wolves game. So T4Rum underscore says, with Martial coming back, would you play James on the right or Rashford, and why? Well, I think Martial would play up front, and then Rashford left. I think what I said in my post the other day is that I think you need to have the front three interchanging, like Liverpool's and City's. I don't think you need to be like, yep, set position. Like, we can start with James on the right, Rashford on the left, Martial up front. But over time, through the game, keep swapping, and like keep the defenders guessing and not knowing who to mark and whatever. But I think it's hard to say no to putting James on the left because of how look at his goals. Like, his goals, both of his goal against Palace and his goal against Southampton and his goal for Wales. It's him coming off the left and curling it. So it's hard to say no, but obviously Rashford likes to come inside as well and hit it on his right foot. So I think to start games, maybe put Rashford on the right and then swap over. Leishi.Coleman says, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, says, who do you want as our four attacking starters on the pitch? So again, with my team that I posted, I think I go with Rashford, Martial, James, and Pogba. And you'd have Pogba behind them. Try to think if there's another player that I'm missing. No, I think that's what I'd have as a front four. Allow Pogba to play further forward, and then have Fred and McTominay behind, but let Fred go forward as well. That's who I'd pick as our front four. Axelman.phs says, why Greenwood didn't start? Well, hopefully it's because he didn't even come on, did he? So hopefully he's saving him for Thursday's game. I really want to see him play. So Tamid.h says, which defensive midfielder would you sign for Man United? I've said previously that I really like Ndidi from Leicester. It sort of seems like we're going to be going on doing Liverpool to Southampton with Leicester players. Maguire, maybe Maddison next year, but I love Ndidi too. Garner looks like he's going to be pretty good for us, so I'd give him a chance. I'm not really sure. Like a couple of years ago, if someone said that we'd sign Matic, you'd be like, oh my god, we've just got one of the best defensive midfielders in the world. But unfortunately, we sort of really regressed, and it's unfortunate. So I think we probably need a younger one. I don't know that many defensive midfielders. I'll have to wait till I play FIFA 20 and do career mode. Maybe I'll find out. But I think Ndidi, I really like him. That guy that City have just bought, it's a shame that we missed out on him because I think it's Rodri. he looks like a great signing. So you've got really long but I'll try Vaisha Saka Sindran. I'm sorry for butchering your art. But you asked, for all the criticisms he's faced, Ashley Young deserves credit for a really solid performance, and I completely agree. I think he was really good against Southampton and good against Leicester. I think one thing that I don't like about Young is his fouls are just so annoying. Like, he'll just go straight through a player. Do that thing where he turns around quickly and walks off before the ref can give him a yellow card. But yeah, I thought he was really good, and he does deserve credit. You're right. Okay, last question from Nevs.29. He asks, what are your thoughts after seeing Maddison linked with United? I think Maddison's a great player. Some of the assists that he does are really good. He can do passes that, like, let's say Lingard and Pierre, like what they can't do, and that's what we need. I'm not sure. I said with Maguire, I didn't care about the money at all. I do not care that we paid 80 million because we needed a centre back and we needed someone of his type of centre back. But for Maddison, I'm not sure if it's worth, because they'll probably have to pay. You can imagine 70 million plus for Maddison. If we go on for 50, I think that'd be pretty good. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be very expensive, and I'm sure he's going to have a great season. But yeah, I'd love to see Maddison. But yeah, there's a lot of. I think English players are going to be really overpriced, though. We've seen that over the last couple of years, but especially going forward, we've got loads of English players, and I'm sure he'd complement our team very well. There must be other similar players of his type out there which we can get for cheaper. I just think because he's English, his price would be mad. But I would not be disappointed with signing Maddison, and hopefully we do go for him. So that's the full podcast then. Thanks for listening. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like it if you liked it. I really want to do more of these. Hopefully this gets the same type of response as the other ones. But I just want to say I'm so thankful for all the listeners, all of you guys getting involved. I'm really pleased with the questions again. A lot of you asking about Fred. And it's good to see that we all care. We're all behind United. We all just want to see us go back in the right direction. And hopefully we win on Thursday. Come on United, and have a good week, guys.